Now.
All right, good evening, everybody. It is Thursday, December 16th. This is the Leadership Committee meeting. It is 7:04 p.m. So we'll get started. We are recording. I have the agenda up in front of me. We do have a quorum, and we'll start off the agenda, kick it off with item number 1, which is the draft November minutes from last month. You can put them up, Jeremy. We'll go through them real quick, and then we'll vote on them, and we'll move on to the next item.
So attendance.
Everybody can zoom in.
Move down.
Oh, the minutes. Do we have any volunteers to take minutes tonight?
So I have an intern that's going to try to do it. If you want, it's up to you.
Okay. All right. We'll get the intern to do it, and hopefully they can do it within a few days, so we still have it fresh in our heads. Last month I did the minutes. I think I sent it to Jeremy within 24 hours because everything's still fresh. You can recall everything. That's the good thing about doing minutes right away. So all right, so we got a minute taker. It's going to be our intern.
Yeah, and I already started. I started a draft for her, so.
Okay, great. All right, so I'm skimming through the minutes. They look good. If you can continue scrolling down, Jeremy.
Some of them are cut off. This screen share is not the greatest.
All right, so I'm going to call for a motion to approve the draft November 2021 minutes. Do I have a second?
I second.
Seconded by Al. Any discussion? Any abstentions or objections? Motion passes. Thank you, everybody. We'll go to item number 2 on the agenda, which is the draft December 2021. Wait, hold on. Draft. Yep, the full board agenda for December. Jeremy, if you can pull that up.
Oh, it's next Thursday, the 23rd, 7 p.m. It's a remote meeting. People have complained to me already about being so close to Christmas, but remember, it's a remote meeting. It's not like you have to drive anywhere. If you can attend, is there anybody that's not able to attend next Thursday? 23rd?
I'm not, Jeremy, because my family is coming up
No,
from
that's fine.
Simon.
Just tell me if you can't. Don't get.
Has
You don't have to give
joined
me
the
any
meeting.
reasons. If I have to ask later, I will. But just
Okay.
so Sandy can't. Who else? Anybody else? Okay. So, and so we only have one registered speaker so far. These other people are to be determined. And chairman's report. I don't know if there's anything. Al, Veronica, is Hazel in yet?
No, not that I.
No.
Okay, well, the minutes are here. They are hyperlinked. They were done already. So if you just click on the link here, this is draft minutes from November 18. Most important thing I would say people forget about is the attendance at the back. For the most part, it should be accurate. Some people are confused about an email I sent out earlier about the commanding officer program.
Yeah, I saw your update.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, and then Rhinelander Avenue, public hearing on Monday. So there was also questions about that. I did send an update about that. And then you had a request. Let me go back to the leadership agenda. Yahe, do you want me to explain this? Do you want to explain this? Or do you want me to?
You can quickly explain it, and then we'll vote on it.
And so we got a request from a liquor license establishment, an on-premise consumption liquor license establishment. By law, any on-premise consumption liquor license applicant, whether it's a renewal, a first-time applicant, change of license, corporation, I forget the exact terminology, whatever. As long as it's on-premise consumption and they're applying in some way, whether renewal or not, they have to notify us of their intent 30 days in advance. And if they don't do that, they get hit with a fine from the state liquor authority. We can request a waiver of the 30-day notice. Like say, in this case, I guess they forgot their licenses up. So they're asking if we could asking for a waiver. Now the state liquor authority does not have to grant a waiver. We can still hit them with a fine. But we have a request from Curvins on Leidig Avenue. We have done this in the past for other businesses.
May I ask a question, please?
Yeah, go ahead, Andrea.
You say it's for on premises. What do they consider that monstrosity in the street?
So it's on premise. So it's different from a bodega where they go home and drink the alcohol. It's if they're on site, whether it's in the street area where, I'm not talking about like hanging out in the street.
I'm talking about the thing in the middle of the street on Leidig Avenue. Is that considered on premises?
Yes.
Thank you.
And my recommendation is if the committee or the board does grant this waiver, I say we do it one time. We don't want to make this a habit.
I move.
We should do that for everybody.
Jeremy,
Grant the
question. Jeremy, it's Ken Gelling. Question: did they tell us why they didn't do it? They didn't know about the 30 days in advance?
Actually, it's a really good question. I'm
Did they say
guessing they just
anything?
forgot.
I guess we'll have to ask them on next week.
I find it very interesting because she knows her attorney knows everything, and then all of a sudden now they don't remember that they have to renew their license. Doesn't sound right.
So
I think we could put it on the agenda, but it's something to ask them.
yeah,
Well,
we can ask it. We
It's
can
a
ask.
legitimate request.
I can send an email
Maybe you
and
should
try to
ask
get an
them
answer
before the
before
meeting.
tomorrow.
Yes, please.
Yeah, that
The
sounds
only,
better,
the only
Jeremy.
thing is, whatever the reason may be, if they turn around and say they forgot, wouldn't we grant the waiver? So in other words, we're telling them we can't get their liquor license?
I don't know. We maybe decide yes or no, but at least let them put a reason why they did it.
Yeah. Okay. I don't think they stated it. Right?
So hold on. Since it's on the agenda, I want to call for a motion and then we'll have a discussion during the motion. Is that okay with everybody?
I make a motion, we accept the waiver.
No, wait.
Seconded. Aye.
I second it. All right.
Second by Sandy Younger.
Yeah,
So we'll ask. Ken requested that we ask for the reason. Any other discussion? Yeah.
A question about it. Excuse me. Is this to put it on the full board's agenda or for us to give the waiver?
Full board agenda.
All we're doing
It's
is
a
putting
recommendation
it
of the board.
I'm sorry?
Recommendation. There's enough time that we don't have to expedite this. It can go to the full board next week.
That's all we're doing is putting it on the agenda for the full board.
Yes.
Okay.
Recommendation to the full board.
Are we recommending to the full board or are we just putting it on the agenda for the board?
Well, it's the same thing, Ken.
No, I don't think so. If we recommend, we might put it on the agenda with a recommendation to do A, B, or C. If we just put it on the agenda,
Ken,
Well,
Ken, if it passes the committee, it goes to the full board agenda. If we vote it down, it doesn't get to the full board.
And so it'll be a motion to send a waiver of the 30-day notice. That's how it'll go on the agenda for the full board. But the full board, could still decide otherwise. The committee, like I just said, could decide otherwise right now.
Yeah, so Al called for the motion. Who seconded it?
I did.
Okay, by,
Andrea.
okay.
Standing.
And as we continue the discussion, any further discussion on it?
yeah, I think the motion could be that we send it to the board, to the full board with no recommendation either way.
Well,
So
you
you're
know,
objecting to the.
No,
to sending it
no,
to-
I'm objecting to us making a decision on it now. And if you were
I
saying
think
you're gonna make a
Kenny's trying
decision
to
on it now,
say he wants to table it until the full board.
that if we can do
Well-
that, I could do that also.
Well,
Just put it on the
if
agenda.
a motion was made, it has to be voted on.
Yeah, we can't table it after the motion has been called.
Well, unless Al withdraws the motion, but it sounds like he's not withdrawing the motion. So let's just vote on it. So it's a motion to send the waiver, right, Al?
That's the motion.
Okay. So unless there's any other discussion, let's vote.
Yeah,
I have a question.
Yeah, Bernadette.
Okay, this isn't on the waiver, but it's about Curvins, and it's a very quick, something I guess I want to ask everybody's advice on. The particular, street, the street, outside of the restaurant,
Lightick Avenue.
on Lydic Avenue, yes. Part of her outdoor area blocks the, one of the stores to, the hairdresser, Lydia's.
She blocks 3 other stores besides her own.
Oh, okay. And I know that the owner of that, of Lydia, because that's where I get my hair done. So I asked her, I said, did you speak to her about it? She goes, yeah. She goes, she was just, very, very,
Rude.
confrontational was her nice word about it. And she says, I'm just gonna let it go. She goes, but it actually ruins her, her street traffic of people. So.
But that's not in our purview. Our purview is to allow or deny. That's the city's problem. I mean, we
Yeah.
have, 900 Park is taking up parking spaces along the street, and they don't even use the, the facility that they put up. So,
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
city's problem.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, you
Okay,
know that
Amy-
this is gonna open up a can of worms at the meeting anyway. And we'll be discussing it ad nauseum.
Well, I mean, look, you can vote, vote how you want, right? If you think that's an
Any
issue,
further
Voting-
discussion?
One thing we have to keep in mind is we're not voting on the outside area. We're not voting about anything else except whether or not we want to give them the waiver. So we can't put that into our decision because it has nothing to do with us, the outside.
Right, that's understood, but it'll be brought up anyway.
Just let's get on with it. We're beating a dead horse here. Will you
All right.
vote yes or no?
All right, so let's try the simple route. Is there any, unless you want to do it, Yahay, any against or abstentions?
I
I'm,
abstain.
I'm,
I'm
I'm
against.
abstaining.
Ken Gelnick is voting against because there's no excuse. If you would have given me some sort of excuse, maybe. But if you just say, oh, I want to do it, I'm just coming cavalierly in here and asking for an extension without telling you why, I'm against that.
And so
Okay,
that's 3. Otherwise, the majority passes. All right? Everybody else is in favor of it? So 2 abstentions, right? Andrew, you're an abstention or you're against? I forget.
I'm abstaining.
So Andrea abstains. Who was the other abstention?
Yahay
Say-
abstained.
Yeah, abstain.
Yahay. And then Ken Gelnick's against us. So then the motion passes, right? Everybody else is in favor?
I abstain.
Rabbi Fuchs?
The rabbi.
That's me. I abstain.
Okay.
Thank
so
you.
Just want to make sure. So then that means Oral, Veronica, Bernadette.
it still passes.
Al. Well, hold on. That's 4 and 4.
No, you have 5.
Who's the 5th?
You have Oral, Veronica,
Al.
Sandra,
Oh,
Al,
Sandy, yes.
and Bernadette. And
Yeah.
Bernadette.
All right, yep, sorry. Sorry about you, Sandy. All right.
It's quite all right, Cassandra was an oracle who could see the future.
Not normally here, that's all. That's all right.
That's
So that
okay.
passes me. All right. 5 to 4. Thank you. All right.
You heard me?
Ken.
Can you ask her to tell us why they?
Yeah, no,
Why
I'll
they're-
do that in the meantime.
Thank
course.
you.
Hey,
Okay.
Jeremy, just want to let you know it's Lisa. I'm here.
Oh.
Sorry I'm late.
Okay, we just voted on an item, but it passed, so. All right, so then going back to the full board agenda,
Yep, we're going to item number 3. We didn't vote on the draft full board agenda, right?
Yeah, so we'll see how this public hearing goes. We won't have motion anyway. So somebody will have to make a motion one way or the other. Let's see how the public hearing goes. I spoke with Rabbi earlier. We got 5 people registered to speak about making Rhinelander Avenue a one-way street. That's from White Plains Road to Unionport Road. It's a very small section of our district. So Bernadette had a meeting. Land use, you having a meeting? I don't know at this point. Are you having a meeting next week? Ken,
Sorry,
are you having a meeting next week?
I'm going to try to have, I'm planning on having a meeting. Because I can't tell you, but the problem is this, I haven't, you sent me you sent me a
Same
response from the
items, yeah.
transportation.
Yeah,
talking
I
about-
mean,
Which
we're talking about
week
the
are we
open streets, open restaurants,
Correct,
which city
Send me-
planning failed to show up last month.
right. You sent me a response. I haven't been able to, I have not heard from I have not been able to listen to it yet. So I can't tell
Okay.
you if that's gonna answer my questions or anybody else's questions. So I think we're
Alright,
gonna have
so
a meeting. Oral, what do you think? I would like to have a meeting. Can we get transportation to show up? We're planning to show up.
Well, I think they should show up. I mean,
Yeah.
what's the problem? They can't show up, or they having an issue showing up? Jeremy?
Well, last month they probably just forgot. They never told me why they didn't show up.
Okay, it'll be great if they can show up this time. Tell them that, he's
Let's have the meeting on the
Um,
21st.
kind of not,
Yeah.
if it, wasn't coordinated well on their end, if they forgot about it or some miscommunication, but they should be there.
Yeah, I know they wanted me to send them the agenda, but that aside, they said they would be there, and I sent them the link to get to the meeting.
Yeah.
So they should have been
Yes,
there.
can we confirm at the day before the meeting that someone definitely will be there, or if you want me or to call
Yeah,
them to make
I'll
sure?
just tell them. Well, we're gonna have the meeting. It's what, the 21st,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's like
Has
somebody to show
left the
up.
meeting.
Okay,
Alright.
I mean, it'd be great. Tell them that, we just want to clarify some things, and they should be responsive to the communities. If the community wants to know, have questions, they should be responsive to us, no? I think
Yeah,
they should be.
okay. Alright.
Does someone want to ask Kervin something? Because I'm here. I just was listening on the other phone.
Yeah, Ken, is it okay if we ask the question now?
What?
I'm here.
Yeah. Hey,
Who's the,
Yeah, go
the
ahead.
owner of Curvins is here.
Who's that?
Let's wait until we get to the gallery session.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, just hang tight, Ms. Davis.
Okay.
All right. So, anything else with the full board agenda? We got a bunch of electeds which may not show up. At least one said they wouldn't show up.
All right, I'm going to call for a motion to approve the the December 2021 draft full board agenda. Do I have a second?
I second.
Thanks, Al. Any discussion?
I just want to remind people that the gallery, depending upon who signs up, that this will change. It's just, I only have the first one confirmed.
Yeah, that's fine. That's why we're voting on the draft. Any abstentions or objections?
no,
All right, motion passes. So we'll move on to item number 3, which is the calendar for January 2022. Jeremy, if you can pull it up.
If I send this to the city, maybe I didn't. Hold on, let me share the actual calendar program. Definitely make sure I put the holidays in there. From the alternate side calendar. Just how we do it. Hey, Transportation, education, I'm sorry, this is an old thing. So you're on the 5th, right? Bernadette, not Tuesday anymore? Hello, Bernadette?
Yes. Yeah, sorry, I was talking to myself.
So let me
Yes, we're
delete
on the
this one.
Wednesday, was the 5th.
Oops. All right, so. Okay, parks, Lisa. So this will work for this month, but I don't know what's gonna happen with remote meetings after that.
No, we
So-
moved parks to the second Thursday of the month, remember? At 7:30.
Okay, that's right. I probably have that there too. Yep. This is just a holdover. Same thing with Bernadette. But still sanitation normally meets. So we'll see if
I
that's
don't
becoming
think,
an issue.
I don't think we're gonna meet
This is
on
here.
the 11th, Jeremy.
Okay,
Not that I know of.
unless,
So
okay.
if it changes, we'll let you know.
All right, we'll just take it off for now, unless you know you definitely have a meeting.
Right.
Maybe we'll speak to Joanne about sanitation, and I'll have to speak to Hazel since she's not in. Is there anything else? Looks everything else. Looks
Hazel
fine,
was
right?
in, Jeremy.
I was just gonna say that Hazel's in.
Oh, she's in? Okay.
Yes.
Hazel?
She's been in for quite a while.
Well,
Oh, well, nobody told me.
Well, you can see the same screen we see.
absolutely.
No, I'm looking at what I'm sharing with you, and that's
Oh, he's looking at the calendar.
because it minimizes everybody once I do that, once I share that. So, and I think that got some for old business. Just remind me. All right, so Hazel, Three Kings Day, is that a problem? You think?
Well, if my fellow committee members don't have a problem with it, I would like to keep my meeting on that day, and hopefully DHS will get back to us.
No, they did
about-
get back to us. They want to push it back to February about the proposed homeless shelter on White Plains Road. They don't want to come on Three Kings Day.
Oh, okay.
Well, I don't know if they want to come. They asked for February. Let's put it that way.
So they don't want any day in January.
I can ask if you want, but they asked to push it back to February.
Okay.
So do you want to confer with your committee? Do you want to have a meeting
Yeah.
regardless? Do you want to confer with them?
Yeah, I'll reach out to them.
Yeah, please
But
let me
leave it
know.
on the calendar.
Yeah, please let me know ASAP because it's somewhat difficult to make changes once I publish it. Unfortunately, because I hyperlink everything, I have to manually hyperlink every meeting link. The sooner
Alright.
you know, the better.
All right, I'll reach out to them tomorrow.
Okay. And everybody else okay? Is Joe Thompson in?
Well, he's not at the meeting.
Is he in this meeting? I mean,
I don't think so.
No.
No.
okay. All right. He was going to come tonight, but all right. All right.
Jeremy, for public safety, I'm okay with the date. Do you think you could reach out to Novato's, the new person who took over Novato's spot? I forget his name, I'm
Keith.
sorry. Keith, yes,
Keith.
to see if he would like to join us. I've tried reaching out to him, but I haven't gotten a response back. Maybe if it comes from
Okay.
you, he might respond.
Do you want to just forward me the email? You emailed him? Is that what you did?
Yeah, I emailed him, but they didn't answer me for it last month. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm not surprised. I reached out to DOT about something yesterday and they haven't gotten back to me. And I spoke to them today. They told me they would call me later this afternoon, to no avail. So can you forward me the email just so I have a record of it, and then if I have to, I can say, hey,
Yeah, absolutely.
respond to this. Okay.
Yeah, I'll
Is
do that.
Keith-
Thank you.
Is Keith the permanent replacement for Navarro? Or is
No,
he
he's
just temporary?
acting. I don't know what the plan is for them.
Interesting.
Yeah, he could be permanent. I don't know. right now. Last I was heard, he's acting.
Not gonna be permanent if he doesn't return phone calls.
No comment. All right. All right. So yeah, hey, we good on the calendar? Otherwise,
All right, so we're gonna call for a motion to approve the January 2022 full board agenda, sorry, the Community Board 11 meetings and events calendar. Do I have a second?
I second it.
Second.
Seconded by Bernadette, thank you. Any further discussion?
Jeremy, what am I gonna have different to tell them January 3rd than I'm gonna have on December 20th?
yeah, I will take it off if you want. I'm fine with that. Want me to take it off?
Yeah, I mean, it's, besides wishing them a happy new year, what else am I gonna tell them?
Unfortunately, I don't know what just happened with this. No. All right, well, I'm gonna have to make these edits all over again. This is the problem with this program. It's not great.
I'm sorry, Jeremy, I caused you that trouble.
It's all right.
Jeremy, but I do have a question, something you said today to me in the morning. If the street turnaround is being requested by a businessman, is that legit? Is that considered
Yeah.
from the community? That's legit.
Why not?
Because I would think you want it requested by a community member or community organization.
I mean, business owners are community members. No.
Okay, I just don't want
If they
them
have a
to,
legitimate concern,
I don't want them to
Right.
hit me on Monday. This is not being.
So you have residents,
No, we don't have residents. It was requested by a business owner. But
Well-
you have residents, I'm requested and I've been requested and I've been in contact with DOT for a while as part of the Bronx Muslim Center, expressing my concern for safety for that area. Bernadette has seen that area not so safe when it gets gridlocked. It's just it's a bad area. I don't know if anyone has ever been there, but trust me, it has really nothing to do with business. It's more safety, and that's the reason I'm requesting it, is for safety reasons and
Okay,
traffic congestion reasons.
that's it. Okay, that's it. That
so,
ends
so
that.
just to clarify, the origination was from a business owner, but you also started a petition, Yahay, at some point back in the day.
Yeah, I started a petition and I got up to like 250 signatures. Then COVID hit, and I have some of the petitions at home. Some of them are scattered all over the place.
Okay. So, just let me just want to share this. I just made the edits one more time. Make sure we're good. I took off health.
Bottom line with what we really need for the Rylander one-way is a traffic study. So this is just the process. We got to get a traffic study. So that's important.
So,
All right, the motion was made, it was
Go back to
seconded, let's vote.
and here it is again, in case anybody wants to see. Contingent upon Hazel's going to check with her committee about 3 Caden's Day. All right. Like Al said, anybody against? Any abstentions? Not passes unanimously, right? Yeah.
Yep. All right, passes. The motion passes. So we'll go to the gallery session. I know the Curvins manager is on, so we'll start with her. Are you on with
She's
us?
the owner, right? Miss Davis, right?
This is Marisa Davis, the owner.
So just so you're aware, there was a motion made to give a 30-day waiver, give the waiver for the 30-day notice. I don't know if you were here for that.
Yeah, I was here for it. I heard everything. I just was on my phone and I couldn't unmute it, so I had to get on the computer. But I heard the whole entire meeting.
All right. So you know the question then that one of the members had, right?
Yeah, so basically I had some death in the family and my tragedy took me away from this. So unfortunately, you know, in the process of mourning, it just was not something I could focus on.
Did you hear that?
I lost her.
She had a death
I
in the
had-
family, so
I
her
had-
focus
that-
is elsewhere.
In that case, I'd withdraw my objection.
All right, well,
It's a
it's the
reason- it's a
motion that I
reasonable-
voted
it is-
on, so.
Also,
Okay.
I just, if there's, I don't want to rehash this or beat this dead horse, but my structure outside, which is not only insured but legal, they're only consuming beverages in there, and the license would extend to there because that's what they're doing for everyone in the city so that we can survive. To be honest with you, my focus has been on not only my personal tragedy, but also teaching my staff how to use Narcom because we had 2 people that overdosed in front of our business and almost died. So we've had some serious issues with the drugs on Lydig. And thank God that I had 2 registered nurses that were, patronizing inside and literally stayed outside for over 20 minutes, saving someone's life. So we've been focusing on that right now. While I don't know if you've heard from the police can also tell you the ambulance came. It was some really frightful, terrible things. And, we can't do much because it's a super liberal city and the cops can't remove these addicts. I can only be mother hen, but so much. They hang out outside, they're on drugs, and they're dying in front of my business. And it scares my customers away. It freaks us out. And it's a serious issue that I would really love some support from the board on how we can get these drug addicts off of Lydig because it's now affecting my business. And I really didn't think I'd have to train my staff on how to use Narcom or have my patrons freaked out because they're outside for half an hour. So if there's, any suggestions or any people that you guys know, we need to get these guys off the street. They either need help or they need to stop hanging out in front of my business. And I think every business on Lydig needs Narcom because when we were trying to get it on both of these nights and running up and down the street, it took a long time for the ambulance to come and nobody on Lydig had it. We have a serious issue that, I'm asking for some support in that regard. That's what my focus is right now. So if you guys could help us, we would love it.
Yeah, that's been a hot spot for years. My recommendation is that you attend next month's Public Safety Committee meeting. And we can, the chair is on with us. She can put it on the agenda. And in the meantime, I think there might be a 49th precinct. No, the 49th precinct community council meeting for this month, I don't think is, I think it's canceled. So that would have been another place that you could have discussed it. I'll mention it I think that's Sector Bravo. I'll mention it to them. I'll try to reach out to them this week, or Jeremy, if you can reach out to them. But my best advice is you attend the Public Safety Committee meeting next month.
I think it's Sector A. I think Pelham Parkway is Sector A. Am I correct, Andrea?
Yeah, but I think I don't think so. No.
No,
Lonsdale is the
it's not.
border.
No, I think it's B.
Sector B, yeah.
It depends. I think Williamsbridge might be the boundary line. West is B and right is A, something like
B,
that.
it's section B. Section A comes further south.
Okay.
Right.
Other
Can I
things,
ask?
I think what Ms. Davis mentioned, and I think it's important to note that the police are very limited in what they can do.
Yeah.
Possibly what ambulances can be called and have these people taken into Jacoby but by that time it's they're overdosed. I
Is
think
there any?
I was just going to say I think the community does have to work together to get rid of the situation that was mentioned.
Right, but could she ask EMS or the New York City Department of Health for Narcan to have on the premises if it's been happening?
Well, we
They
actually,
might be able to supply it.
the nurses got it for us, and another woman who works in a boys shelter, she got it for us. But when the ambulance comes, they're inundated with taking care of the people. I guess I don't know where to go for that, and I didn't even know how to get trained on it. We had to get trained that and have them on premise. But I think all the stores need it. Everyone up there, because You know, if it happens in front of the bodega or in front of the chicken spot or the grocery store, but it's the same people outside. The cops know they can't do anything. They asked me to call the homeless hotline. Those people say, oh, we know the people out there. If they don't want to go, they don't have to be removed. And they're allowed to loiter outside all day and they get high and they pass out.
She's absolutely correct. It goes on day and night and in broad daylight when the kids are walking by. It's horrendous what goes on, and the police, unfortunately, their hands are tied. Hopefully, with a new administration, things might get better.
Um, I know in previous years, maybe in about right before COVID, that NARCOM, I think the police there were workshops for that. Businesses who were interested in having that. I think maybe, our NCOs might be able to get that information, because the businesses are really supposed to have that. I thought that was something that all the businesses had already.
That's why I said to contact EMS or the New York City Department of Health.
Mm.
Somehow I vaguely heard something about getting it or helping to learn how to use it. And
Yes.
it's not always has to be the injection. I think there's some you could put up the nose and stuff.
I will call Jacoby Hospital tomorrow and see if they can supply those kits to the stores in the community. And if not, why not?
Can I ask also, Ms. Davis, can I ask you, were you able to find out if the people who were ODing, if they were residents? Were you able to find out if they were part of a program, if they lived in the neighborhood? I'm just curious if you were able to find that out.
They don't give me their information, but I could tell you I see them every day. It's the same faces on the street every day. So
She's right. She's correct.
They must.
Most of the times they're hanging out on Kruger off of Leidig.
No, unfortunately, next to her store, there's a liquor store, and they lay on the street in front of the liquor store.
Oh, God.
See, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because in February, we are going to have that with housing, with Hazel. We're going to be discussing the proposed homeless shelter that they want to put, 2 blocks away on White Plains Road. And this is part of the reasons about bringing more issues into the community.
But again, Bernadette, unfortunately, you only can help those who want to accept help.
I know.
And a lot of these people who are laying out on the street, panhandling or drinking or doing drugs, they don't want help. And if you offer it them, they get so belligerent.
No, I know, because they can still get fined. Because if I'm right, you still can get fined if you're drinking alcohol on the street.
Who's gonna
Yeah,
find
and
them?
they have them. Yeah. And like
The police, their hands are tied. They don't. You know how I feel about the 49, but unfortunately, they can't and don't do anything.
No, I know.
All right, I'd like to move to another item. Ms. Davis, do you have anything else before we move to the next speaker?
No, just that, it's killing my business because nobody really wants to go have a couple of drinks and deal with that.
I'm having a hard time hearing. I don't hear anything.
She's saying that what's going on in the neighborhood is not good for is not good for her business. It's harming her business tremendously.
Because
it's not only harming her business, it has to harm other businesses on Leidig Avenue also.
But she's one of the few businesses that are open when the others are closed.
Oh, okay.
Okay, is that okay, Yahe? Is that good enough for you? You hear that?
Yep. Yeah, I'd like to move to the next. Do we have any other members of the public with us? Let me look at the list.
Diana Finch, we have a board member, we have another member of the public, Christine Culper.
Right. Ms. Finch, do you have anything?
Sure. I'm a patron of Curvin's, and I did speak to it's Sector Boy, and I spoke to our NCOs about the Narcan problem, and they said that it's not the police department, but there is an agency, I think it's in the mayor's office, that supplies Narcan. And they were going to get me the information on it. And I think that Friends of Pelham Parkway also may have been able to obtain some Narcan kits. The point being that I don't know that it should be on the business, or even community associations. I think that the community board should step up and lead the way on this. And that's what the community board is for. And to ask Marissa to come to more meetings, to present the problem at more meetings, it's not really her problem to solve. And the meetings are all in the evenings when she's working, her business is open.
Ms.
Have the
Finch,
public safety committee meeting, put this on their agenda and figure it out and take care of it.
Ms. Finch, I did say I was going to call the hospital tomorrow and see if I can get
Yes,
kits.
I know, and I thanked you. I thanked you in the chat.
Oh, okay.
that.
I'll read that.
And I think that some people should apologize to Marissa for criticizing her business for things that aren't even in the community board's purview and are not against the law, are not against the regulations, are not against the violations. I just think the way that the community board is treating Curvens is not acceptable. Thanks.
Okay.
Any other speakers? Do we have any other speakers from the public? Anything? All right, so then if nothing from the public, we'll go to old business. And looks like we have an item on old business, which is the Pelham Parkway Task Force. That's on the agenda. So this meeting, a little bit about this meeting. Community Board 11 used to host it. BDC was a guest at the meeting because they don't host meetings. So after a heated meeting last year, it was decided that we were not going to host them anymore because it looked like we were taking the liability of hosting a meeting that, one, we're not mandated to host. And it's one additional thing to the community board. So when we saw the liability was increasing, there was one of the meetings, a lot of disrespect occurred. The meeting got out of control, and we decided to terminate the meeting. When we terminated them, members of the public and some members of organizations were concerned, and they wanted us to start them back up. We invited the DDC. They joined us, and they said the community board doesn't have to host them. Anyone can host them. An elected official can host them, or an organization can host them. Anyone can host them. So we made the decision to no longer host that meeting. Now, if someone else was to host the meeting, whether a council member or an organization, and DCC was to go there as a guest, Community Board 11 was open to attend these meetings as guests as well. It's just we wouldn't host them. And when it was hosted, it was just the staff. It was not a community board member that was hosting the meeting like I'm hosting tonight's meeting. The community board is hosting it. It would be just the staff hosting it. We went away from that. Now we got a couple of requests, and we heard the community. We heard the community organizations, and up until last month, we were still firm on not hosting these meetings. Al, do you have anything you want to say on that?
No, it just became, again, it became a gripe session and people were being abused. And you're right, the community board did not want to be part of policing that kind of an activity. But as you mentioned, any other organization that wants to host it, they can do that. So any organization that people may belong to, or that, that you mentioned before, any city councilman or elected official who wants to host a meeting, you know, we'd be glad to attend.
And Al or Yahe, if you don't mind me, I just want clarification. I think we also agreed that if there's a pressing need to have an individual meeting, not a monthly meeting, we would be willing to host a meeting.
Absolutely.
Yep, and if the DDC is not responding, like sometimes I bring up DOT issues to the community board level. If I can't handle them, if the community organizations see something that's not getting handled, they can bring it up to us. We'll call for a meeting. But when we met with Joanna and I think Maria, and I see the emails back and forth, they're very responsive. I mean, what else do we want from them other than work is being performed that's very inconvenient, but they have to continue doing what they have to do. So that's that. And anyone thinks differently that we should host them?
Any board members? We already went through the public session.
All right, I guess I don't hear anything. Any other old business then? Item A was completed.
I have a few things, Yahe, if you don't mind.
Sure, go ahead.
I somehow Oral left off of the November minutes. He was present for that meeting for the leadership minutes. So I will add him, unless anybody objects to that, to the attendance for the leadership November 2021 minutes. And also we did get complaints about attacks at the last full board meeting. I mean, I thought nothing of it when I was personally attacked, but maybe to be fair to everybody, we got to be better about following through on our conduct statement. I mean, I can handle it. I've been at this a long time. I've served in the military. People have tried to kill me. I can deal with it. But to be fair to everybody, maybe we should be a little bit better about our adhering to our conduct statement. Then I did send out an email to the board. I don't know if we did put on the agenda. I can bring up the full board meeting. A couple of these things. The one is more pressing, the comptroller's audit. If we want to respond to that at all, they want to. Apparently, I got an email today. They want a response by tomorrow. I don't know if anybody even had time to look at that. We did pretty well with that audit. We got banged on a couple of items. One we've already corrected, and we are correcting. So I don't know if we should even bother responding to the audit. Did anybody get a chance to see the email regarding that?
Yeah, I looked at it.
Okay. So anything noteworthy that we should respond to on that? I mean, the most ridiculous thing that my colleagues are complaining about, and I have to somewhat agree with them, is that we're required to have a public hearing every month in addition to a public meeting, a full board meeting or committee meeting. It has to be a public hearing. I know the Manhattan committee boards complained to the city law department. The city law department said the comptroller's office is right. This is what the city charter says. You have to do it once a month. And when I had a meeting with the comptroller's office about this issue, I said, well, if we want to have a public hearing entitled, we're going to have a public hearing this month because we're required to by the city charter, and we're going to arbitrarily pick land use because that's also required by the city charter. Would that be okay? And they said, yeah, we see that as fulfilling your charter mandate. So as ridiculous as it is, you know, I think we've agreed to do it, right? I think we talked about that last month. Yeah.
Jeremy, every time we have a committee meeting, that's a public meeting.
Yeah, but it's not the same.
That's just nice as
no, it doesn't now. The law department or the comptroller's office sent me something from the law department today that is agreeing with the comptroller's office that does not suffice.
Why?
Which is why we're doing.
The public is invited.
Yeah, but it's separate from a specific topic once a month, which is as ridiculous as it is. It's well, we're doing it this month with the transportation one-way street. So, and that's all that's about.
So what do we?
Yeah,
do for
I agree with
January?
you, Al.
Well, that's what I'm saying, Jeremy. So in other words, each month, each committee can make that a public hearing. So in other
If
words, yeah, Bernadette will have a meeting, she'll call it a public.
I mean,
Yeah.
All right,
in rotation.
Semantics here.
Yeah, so
Jeremy,
go ahead, Sandy.
if that's the case, then Joe could have a public meeting on putting the speed bump on Gunther Avenue, which he's been trying to do for the last, he said 10 to 15 years, and he has all the petitions and everything. So
Okay.
could he hold a public meeting then on that?
Yeah, so
That's spice.
So the question is, I don't know if Rabbi's going to want to do that. Technically, that's a transportation issue. Doesn't
But
have to
Jeremy,
be.
all you need is one a month. I'm sure one committee a month will call their meeting a public hearing and get it
Right.
done.
We could do it with a staff member too. So,
Sure.
but it'd be nice to have a board member.
Jeremy, anytime a committee has something that they want to vote on, then you should make it a public hearing.
Well, let's also clarify what that means. That it's a little bit more entailed than that. We have to specifically publicize the hearing in the city record. Yeah, and it has to be separate. It has to be clearly distinct from the meeting. So, for example, like this meeting now, if we had a public hearing during this meeting, it would be about a specific topic, and then we have to have the gallery session in addition to it for the meeting part of it. Does that make sense?
So it's like when I have my budget hearings, we have the public hearing first,
Yes.
we complete that, and then we have the regular budget meeting. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Any other committee who has something that they want to vote on should do it the same sort of way.
That's it. That's that simple.
Okay, so for
move on.
January, we'll do Joe Baycoat's speed bump request.
But that has nothing to do with health and human health department or
I know,
whatever.
I know.
That's
know.
why he said transportation.
But Sandy, when you want to have a health fair, so you have a public hearing, should we have one? Who should we invite? And then you have your regular meeting afterwards.
All right, I'll
How
let
you do it?
But at this point, we're not.
Guys, we'll work it out. It's not that difficult to work out. Let's move on.
Absolutely.
Well, we need one for January. So I know Parks has maybe an issue or two. So yeah, I don't know.
Jeremy?
Did you just say Joe Baycoat was going to have one?
No,
Jeremy-
we're not. No. Let's.
Jeremy, it's Ken. I may
Yeah,
have
Ken.
to have a meeting if that, on that application, I have to take a look at it.
Yeah, if you want to make that a public hearing, we can do that too.
We may be able to do that. I'll have to take a look at the application.
All right. Okay, so let's try to get something for January. All right. But other than that, I guess we don't need to respond to the comptroller's audit, right?
Right.
Okay. And then also some errors with our website, minutes. We can talk about the full board, or I mean, there's some small corrections I can make. You can send some stuff out via email to you. But a member of the public did ask for 2017 minutes, and you know, they want to know why they're in draft form only, and I agree. I mean, they're right, unfortunately. So I can email the board that stuff. Is that okay with you?
From 2017, everyone's going to remember.
Yeah,
Yeah,
tell me.
I don't
Yeah,
even see the
well-
point of that. It's a draft and that's it.
Yeah.
There's nothing that,
Well,
there's nothing that can
we
be
have
done.
a draft. I mean, I know the reason why they weren't done, but I don't know if that's something to discuss here publicly. But I did, because they weren't being done. I did have Harriet do a draft, so I do have something similar to minutes I could send.
Hey, Jeremy.
Yeah.
I got to step away, so
So
I'd
Veronica,
like to hand it off to Veronica or Al, if anyone can take over from here. I think we're almost done. Looks like Joe Thompson's in. Just make sure you mark him present.
okay.
I think we're up to new business. Is that right?
Yeah, okay. That's done for me. I'm done.
All right. The only thing I have for new business, and I want to bring it up, is the fact that if you haven't responded about the holiday party on the 22nd, I know there was a deadline. I don't know if it reached yet, but if you haven't responded, please do so.
Friday's the deadline.
I thought it was the
Oh.
17th,
That's tomorrow.
and that's when it is.
Oh, okay. All right, so just a reminder to everybody, it would be nice to see everyone there.
Yeah, Joe Thompson, I don't know if you responded. I know Harriet sent you the info.
Can't
If
hear you,
anybody
Joe.
else, and if anybody else is, yeah, you're on mute, Joe. Press the red speaker on the bottom left. The mute button.
Joe will be there. He loves a party.
You thumbs up, Joe. You'll be there. Thumbs up. Thumbs up.
You can hear me now.
Yes. Yes. we can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be there.
Okay.
I
And
knew it.
last call for. Go ahead, Al.
Did you do Turbines yet?
Yes.
Okay.
Motion to approve a waiver.
Yeah, that's definitely, I agree with that.
Okay.
There's
So
no
you
reason
get
not
the
to.
chance. If you're at the full board meeting next week, you can vote on it then.
Okay,
So
but
we're
as
having our full.
far as the committee's concerned, we have no objection to that.
All right, any other new
So-
business?
Yeah.
Motion to adjourn?
I may second it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody's opposed, don't answer. Everybody have a great holiday. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Have a happy and a healthy holiday.
Thanks,
Happy
everybody.
Christmas, happy holidays.
Hopefully we'll see
Give
everybody
Joe
on the
our
22nd.
regards.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Yeah, anybody not come to the full board meeting next week? Anybody? I asked that for you coming in late.
I'm not coming in. I
No,
told
no, I got you in the beginning, Sandy. But you already answered
Okay.
me. Anybody that showed up after I asked, Hazel, Joe,
Yeah,
leave.
I'll be there.
All right, 23rd. So the 22nd is the holiday party. 23rd is the full board meeting.
Okay.
My happy
All right,
holidays.
everybody.
Thank you.
Happy holidays.
Oops, I'm stopping the
Happy
recording.
holidays all.